All right, time for our weekly segment, Live at the Carlton. Now, the Carlton is one of the premier music venues in Halifax. We highly recommend you check it out if you're in the area. Now, we caught up with Broken River. Now, Broken River is made up of Keith Mullins, Dale Murray, Stephen Bowers, and Christina Martin. Now, we sat down before the show and we asked them how the show came together. So here is more with Broken River here on East Coast Countdown Sessions.
I think it was Christina's idea.
Keith was in our studio in Port Howe doing drums for something we called him in on. It was either my album or a friend of ours recording, and he's really good. And Dale had just finished recording Stephen Bowers' album, and Stephen and I have worked lots before, done song circles before, and so I just thought, well, it would be great if we could all do this together. We all are familiar with each other's songs, and I think we can add a lot, you know, to each other's material. So
we knew this coming in. It's right there for you to grab when you have several musicians all playing different things. I mean, Keith plays in this particular tour. He plays predominantly percussion for all of us, but he'll play bass at the same time where needed. And I'll jump on the piano, even though I'm not a proficient piano player. But it's neat just to have some bass notes there when Keith can't play the bass. And Christina's doing double duty on guitar and the glockenspiel, and Dale is as well. You know, playing his pedal steel for a lot of this and guitar. And it's there's a lot of strength in that, having the ability to have different. And we didn't know coming in if this would really work, but it's a nice twist on the old formula of a songwriter's circle. I mean, we've all been in many songwriter circles where it's 4 acoustics across the stage and very little interaction between the artists. And this kind of, I think it makes for a better show, more interaction.
It's prepared, yeah.
4-part harmonies where we can do them and things like that. So,
well, I had done. I played on Stephen's record, Beothic Birds, and then they called me for this guy Bill Donnelly, who works down at Taz. And we did that, and it was just really magical.
And then
really
I had
nice.
You in for my
and then
new
she
album.
had me, yeah.
And so then I just brought it up with Keith, and he thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there was nothing special. This happens in the music community, as you know, all the time. Everybody that you work with, you bump into all the time. There's a lot of crossover of projects, so it was just capturing it for this tour and channeling it a little bit, I think. Yeah, we all just kind of enjoy being on the road together and hanging out, and you know,
and these two were smirking at each other.
well,
they're married.
They're married. They're automatically oil and water.
Stephen and I went across Canada and back one time, so we.
In 2009, that was kind of the genesis of us all working together for me. And that introduced me to Dale producing. So he produced an EP for me in 2009. Toured with Christina. Dale met up with us along the way. We did several shows together. Not necessarily as a trio. If we had thought about it back then, and if I had have learned some of their material, we could have probably developed this type of thing. But it's an afterthought then. It's just, you know, how do you take the tools that we all have and move forward, I think.
I come from the background of side musician. Like I've backed up Christina many times, and probably you a couple of times maybe.
Yeah.
But I just like to. I mean, whatever anyone else wants to do, I'm
yeah, it's funny. Dale doesn't take over in sound check and say, which some musicians do. If they have that knowledge that he has, they'll identify certain frequencies, and while he can do that, he's more focused on what's happening within the group, and he lets the sound person do that stuff. And
you can identify
really
frequencies.
Cool. He's not very flashy about it, but he does.
Yeah. I think Dale is he's a great musician that can adapt to whatever situation is put in front of him, you know.
I find in Halifax, the 2 venues that have been the kindest to me personally have been the Carlton and the Company House, just because they embrace solo performers, duos. You can bring a band in. You always get treated really well, and there's a community here for it now. People are, you know, they like coming out to these types of shows. So
they're listening rooms, which, you know, it's one thing. It can be fun to play a bar, you know, but a lot of people are talking, and so for what we all do, you know, listening audiences is really what we're looking for, and so the Carlton creates that atmosphere.
Yeah, it would be difficult to do, and this probably isn't really, you know, strictly defined as a songwriter's circle, but it would be difficult to do a songwriter's circle in a bar where people are talking. If you have a band and you're playing songs over people, then they can get into that, but that's not what this is. So it's nice to have a venue where they tell you right up front, you know, please respect the musicians, and that we really appreciate that because it'll give you a chance to talk about your songs a little. So,
and yeah, I think we're all slaves to the music. You know, I think that we all just want to make the music as best as possible, and I think that all four of us are in agreement with that, and we're open to trying other people's ideas. And
so this song, basically, I had an idea for this song. It's called Planting Seeds. Basically, we're planting seeds in all we see, in all we believe, and everything we seek. You know, we're planting seeds. Everything we do, you know, bad or good, is planting a seed. So here, this is called Planting Seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Michael tripped on the sidewalk and he dropped his book. Some smiling stranger helped him pick it up, made Mikey take another look. He set it down on a cafe table as Sarah was trying to move her house from a car. Open trunk, four-way flashers. Mikey took a crate of records and an old guitar. We're planting seeds in all we see and all we seek, in everything we weave. Sarah, she knew this homeless savant who lately was looking rather gone. She walked into that small cafe and bought him a croissant. He ate half, no less, no more, and he slowly creaked down to his cement floor. Gave it to his furry friend, panting on the cool ground. We're planting seeds in all we see and all we speak, in everything we will. We're planting seeds in all we seek and all we believe. We're planting seeds. The dog got up, bounty in mouth, and took it to a back alley crate. Next to the cafe's dumpster, 3 starving puppies lying in wait. Well, Michael saw this all go down with a tear in his eye. He gently picked those puppies up and gave them good homes on Mercy Drive. We're planting seeds in all we see and all we speak, in everything we weave. We're planting seeds in all we speak, in all we believe. We're planting seeds. Thanks. That's a new one. That'll be the next record.
Still to come on East Coast Countdown Sessions. We were joined in studio by Newfoundland singer-songwriter Kim Stockwood. We caught up with Troy McGilvery and Alan Dewar. And we have an exclusive performance from Dylan Guthrow, Carlton Stone, and Mo Kenny.